3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Today, my next guest is someone I met many years ago through mutual friends in the martial arts community. We've ran across each other a few times, although we haven't quite talked as much. But he has quite the resume, so let me go over it real quick, and then we'll jump to our questions. So he is a U.S. Army veteran, a barber who owns his own shop. We'll talk about that here in a minute. A stunt man and an actor, and a martial artist with his own clothing brand, just to name a few of his accomplishments here. So you'll know more about him here as we go through the questions and answers. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you Conrad Padilla.
Hi, how's it going, man?
It's going good, bro.
Hello, everybody.
So, yeah, like I said before we started rolling, man, I'm just going to ask you a series of like a Q&A format.
Sure.
Questions, and then I got to categorize so I'm not jumping all over the place.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll stay on topic here, man.
Yeah,
so,
sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, let's break the mold here, man. So the first category is early life and military. So we'll break it off with this. What was it like growing up in Albuquerque, and how did that shape who you are today?
Oh, man. Well, you know, the 90s was a different era than it is now. You know, playing high school football at Highland, you know, when as soon as you stepped on the field, you already knew that it was like, okay, we have a history of being smash mouth football and being tough and having tenacity and stuff. So the coaches back then had a different style the way they are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they had no problem calling you a fucking pussy in front of all your friends.
Yeah.
In the middle of a game. You know what I mean? If you were playing like a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And you just stepped up. You know what I mean? So, but I think growing up in Albuquerque, everyone has that, you know, deep down, whether you're the nicest guy or you're not, you know, you still got that ferocity. You still got like a confidence that everyone builds here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, because everyone's like, yo, bro, you're from Albuquerque, bro. Like, I heard your homies get down over there. I'm like, yeah, we do. And so I think, you know, but, you know, it made me a humble guy too.
Yeah.
You know, and I love it. I'm always proud to tell people, like, yeah, I'm born and raised.
Hell yeah.
Born and raised here in Albuquerque.
All right, man. Cool. That's what's up. Yeah. So what inspired you to join the Army, and what did you take away your time from at Fort Bragg and at the DMZ in Korea?
Oh, man. Honestly, I was 17 years old. I got my parents to sign the waiver because they wouldn't allow me to enlist until I was 18, but, you know, with a parent signature or whatever. And
yeah.
I was 17 all through basic training.
Oh, shit.
Turned 18 right before my job training, AIT, started.
Damn.
I really just wanted to get out of Albuquerque. And my dad, before he signed that contract for me, he was just like, are you sure you don't want to go to college? And I told him, I said, Dad, I'm not built for college.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ready. I'm not disciplined enough. I was like, if you want to waste your money, just give it to me to party, because that's what I want to do.
That's what's gonna
party.
happen.
And, yeah, because I'm just gonna blow that money or just throw it in the fireplace. But yeah, well, I wanted to get out of Albuquerque. I wanted to see what life was like, you know. And a lot of people, you know, they complain and they bitch about Albuquerque, but I'm like, bro, you've never lived anywhere else.
Mm.
You know, I think from California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and half of Texas, it's almost like the same.
Yeah.
You know, but once you cross that Mason-Dixon line,
yeah,
it's another animal out in the South.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
and you know, I had a great time at Fort Bragg. You know, like I said, I just wanted to get out of Albuquerque. I wanted to go see the world. My cousin was married to a pararescue guy in the Air Force Spec Ops.
Nice.
He was part of the Joint Special Operations Command in Fort Bragg.
Nice.
So he had a lot of my influence just because I was like, oh, wow, Special Forces.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I ended up becoming an airborne truck driver, which is like probably the dumbest job in the Army because, you know, they still send everyone to, you know, to tractor trailer school, you know. So, like,
yeah,
it being a truck driver really didn't make any sense. I mean, whatever. But I still had a great time. Fort Bragg was fun. Got 15 airborne jumps.
Nice.
Loved every one of them. You know, especially the night jumps, man. There were nights where we'd jump out and the moon was full and it looked like just like a big block of cheese. You know, you just reach out and grab it. You know, and
that's cool.
It was neat. It was neat. Like, you know, and then my time on the DMZ was just, it was great. Like I loved it up there. I think I got in my best shape when I was serving was at that place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was it wasn't big boy PT where you just trained on your own, but like my platoon sergeant would be like, here's the 2 mile route we're gonna run, here's the 3 mile, here's the 4 mile, as long as you don't fall out behind me, you're good.
Yeah.
And actually, I got into better shape running on my own at my own pace. And I just figured it just started gradually picking up. And, like, I got some of the best PT scores I ever had up there.
Nice.
And then I wasn't ready to leave yet because they weren't giving me anything to come back to America with. You know, I was like, hey, I want to go to Fort Huachuca because it's near Albuquerque.
Yeah.
No. I want to go to Fort Bliss because it's near Albuquerque. No. I wanted to go Fort Carson, Colorado. No. Yeah. They're like, you can go to Fort Hood, Fort Campbell,
no.
Fort Bragg. So I got stuck in the triangle, and I was like, damn it. And I was like, well, I could go to Fort Campbell, get my air assault wings.
Yeah.
Get my double stack because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not ready to come back yet. So then I was going to be a sergeant major driver for the 8th MP Brigade.
Oh, shit.
And then he ended up interviewing this female MP who would eventually become my wife.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And because I interviewed with him in June, and then I wasn't PCSing down there until August.
Yeah.
And I just lost touch with him, so I think he thought that I just came back to the States. So he's like, he interviewed my would-be wife, and he was like, would you like to go to Seoul and be my driver? And so I got there the day before she did.
Okay.
And then so when she showed up, I was like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I'm here to be the sergeant major driver. I was like, nah, I am. You know what I mean? Well, I ended up driving the Colonel.
Okay.
Colonel Cooksey, yeah. And it was funny because I ran into him at the DOE years later here in Albuquerque.
Okay.
You know? But
crazy.
But yeah, Seoul was awesome. I really loved it. And yeah, I got to be stationed with my little brother for about 6 months. That was really cool.
Oh, nice.
And but yeah, me and my wife, you know.
That's pretty cool,
yeah,
man.
That's where we met. And it's just crazy. It's like, you don't realize where life's going to take you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't know what curveball is going to throw you either. And it's like, if I'd have went this way, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you.
Right,
you know
yeah.
I mean? Or if I'd have went that way, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. Yeah.
God works in mysterious ways, man.
But I love Korea.
That's crazy,
Anyone
man.
watching this, dude, if you get a chance to go to Seoul, it's a great time.
I'm going to put that on my list there, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So next question is, how did your military experience influence the way you approach challenges today in your civilian life?
Man, I'd say the discipline and digging down and having that tenacity to just not quit.
Right.
You know, how would I say it? Like, so the only real sport I quit in high school was wrestling.
Oh, no shit.
and I still look back on it, and man, I'm embarrassed. You know, every time I see Coach Harlem, I'm like, man, I'm sorry I quit.
Yeah.
You know, but the military, you know, it's like, you know, hey, here's the mission, get it done, and just have that never die attitude, and you know that's what's helped me push along throughout all my challenges now. And it's just like I don't want to have that regret of why did I quit?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's what.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it. So the next topic is barbering and entrepreneurship. So what led you to become a barber after leaving the Army?
Oh, it's kind of a long, embarrassing story, but I don't mind telling it.
Okay.
When I got out of the Army, I joined the National Guard here in town, and one of my buddies knew a DOE operator.
Okay.
That you know, the transportation guys.
Yeah.
With the Department of Energy. So he introduced me to this dude, and the guy got me an interview, and so I got out of the Guard, and I got into the academy for the Department of Energy. I was going to be one of the transportation guys.
Okay.
You know, and we got a little hammered at the airport.
Yeah.
On the way back, you know, after a weekend, and I didn't miss any training, but they made a mountain out of a molehill, so they ended up forcing me to resign. And so, man, I was 22 years old. I was looking at this federal job, would have my wife and my daughter taken care of, and I was just like, man, what a failure I am. You know what I mean? And I felt really, really bad. And that was the most embarrassing phone call that I ever had to make back home. I was like, I'm being forced to resign, babe. You know what I mean? She was like, well, what happened? And I was like, well, you know your boy.
Yeah.
But there was a guy in my Guard unit that owned a barbershop here in town. So I was like, you know what? I got my GI Bill. They take the GI Bill. They're accredited. I'll go to barber college. And if things don't work out, then I'll get back into truck driving. You know what I mean? So, you know, I started cutting hair, couldn't find a barbershop, and then I started working at a spot called Palaco's up on Comanche and Morris, which is, man, they've been around since 1964.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been around a long time, and so I learned the ins and outs of the business from those guys, and they really took me under their wing, and they showed me how to do some good haircuts. I hated doing flat tops. I could not do a flat top in barber college, man, straight up. Somebody would walk in with a flat top. I go to the bathroom and sit there for like 10, 15 minutes, and then someone got them. All right, cool.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that's how I became a barber, and then I had a couple of my friends that I'd worked with throughout the years that opened up their own barber shops, and they're doing okay. And I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna jump into this. And 20, my barber shop hit 20 years, February 5th.
Yeah. Oh, nice, dude.
It's still standing, man.
Holy shit.
I mean?
Yeah,
it's still there.
Time flies, man.
Oh, it does. Blink an eye, it's gone.
All right. So you did open your shop in 2005.
Yeah.
So what were some early struggles and lessons you learned as a business owner?
Man, at that time, like, I wouldn't say all my employees, but some of the people that I did hire, I was like, man, these guys got that party life. You know what I mean? And I just automatically assumed that people were going to have that same discipline as I did, as show up at 8:50, 10 minutes before. We open at 9 to 5. So I thought, everybody be here 8:50 on the dot and ready to work. And it wasn't exactly like that, you know? And then dealing with property managers, dealing with landlords, dealing with, all your bills double,
Yeah.
You got 2 sets of phones, you got 2 sets of insurances. You basically have a rent that's as much as your mortgage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got responsibility, you got clients to take care of. It's, you got cleaning supplies to buy, you got barber supplies to buy, you got disinfectant stuff to buy. Like, it's, it was a wake up call. There was a lot of things that, there were some things that I didn't see when I was working for the Placos, and I was like, damn, all right. But it just, just being from the military, just learning to adapt and overcome that problem and figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's basically it.
Have you been at the same spot the entire time?
We originally, the barbershop was across the street, and man, the rent just started getting a little high at that time.
Okay.
And then I got a pretty good deal across the street. So I ended up moving, and so we've been in that plaza 12 years now.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So, but same area pretty much.
Okay, gotcha, man.
Yeah.
All right. So how has your barbershop become part of the local community over the years?
Man, it's been crazy. Like, so back in the day, and some people might think I'm an ass for this, but it's okay. Every kid that would walk through, I'd try to help. Like not help, but like sponsor.
Okay.
So like,
Gotcha.
all these kids show up. Hey, I'm playing basketball. I'm looking for sponsorship. I'm all right, cool. Here you go.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know is that I started realizing that a lot of the kids that were coming in, or people that were coming in, they weren't getting their haircuts at my shop. It was, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, I just sponsored this kid who doesn't get his haircut here, but then now a kid who has been getting his haircut here for years, and the dad and the uncle and the grandpa, now I don't got money to sponsor that kid. So when kids come in my shop, I'm like, do you get your haircut here? They're like, no. I'm like, does anybody related to you do? No.
Yeah.
All right, well then why don't you go to your barbershop
Right.
and ask them to sponsor you?
Right.
And I had this one kid, I kicked him out twice.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, dude, didn't we already have this conversation? You don't get your haircut here. Go to your barbershop and sell your beef jerky over there.
I don't see anything wrong with that, man.
And so like when the kids come in, like, hey, we're selling popcorn. I'm like, dude, give me 10 bags. And so I just try to be as involved as I can. And, clients who've been there for years, like I do my best to help those guys out because they've helped me out for so many years. And it was after Damasio Page, he was the main event at Isleta one night. I can't remember which fight it was. It was a while back. And one of the homies, like, I recognized him. I couldn't remember his name. But he came up to me, pulled me to the side. He goes, hey, Conrad, because, I'm like in the area that the shop's in, it's not a super nice area.
Yeah.
It's the hood, you know what I mean? And a lot of those homies, but they take care of their shit out there. And but the dude told me, he goes, hey, bro, I want to say thank you for bringing something positive and something that's still there, because no other shop has been like as consistent as you have, and you've brought something really positive to the area, to the hood, and I want to say thank you. And it's one of like the OG homies,
That's awesome.
OG West Siders, and I was just like, wow, man, like I never thought. I was just out there being me, being nice to people.
Yeah.
You piss me off, I'm gonna talk shit back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You try to bully me, I'm not gonna take it. You know what I mean? But I think I earned a lot of those guys' respect, and yeah, we're still there. And like I said, that little conversation still resonates with me. That it was just like, wow, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
That I was doing something that good for that area, and a lot of homies respect it. So,
That's what's up.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. It's like you don't know that you're affecting other people's lives positively.
Truth.
You're just living day to day, and here you are impacting someone else. It's
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy, man. But that's awesome. So we'll jump into martial arts and fighting. So how did you first get connected with Greg Jackson and Jackson's MMA?
Oh yeah. Well, like a lot of people know this, and I do. Conrad, you've told the story a bazillion could and I'm like, I'll probably say it another bazillion times, man. I got real chunk. So I opened up my barbershop and I got real fat. Like I just kept eating like I was weightlifting, but I wasn't weightlifting. And then I started drinking a lot. Mm-hmm. And one day I went to take a family photo, and I bent over to tie my boots, and I ran out of breath tying my shoes. And I didn't have my shirt on because I was in the dressing room, and I look up and I see my stomach sitting on my lap. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, who's this dude staring back at me in the mirror, Because I'd never been out of shape in my life. Like, me and my brother, we grew up swimming. We always stayed active, you know what I mean? And we're just skinny. Yeah. We're little guys, and I was like disappointed in myself that I let myself go like that. Yeah. And, just being in the Army, just being in shape, being combat ready, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, it was like, wow, man, like what happened to you? Yeah. And then within that same month, I had a girl that used to work for me, and it was like really bad. She liked to date all the little hood rat guys, and one day, one dude called up the shop talking shit, and I was just like, hey, bro, can you just keep that to a minimum? Because I'm trying to run a family business here. And the dude started talking smack. I told him, come on down, let's get it. And this is before I knew how to fight. Yeah. And so one of my buddies, one of my best friends, he's like a big brother to me. His name's Greg Richardson. He was a captain of state police. And I called him up. I said, hey, some shit's about to go down at the shop between me and some dude I've never met. Yeah. Can you send somebody down here just to file a report in case something does happen? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like, I want that documented. Right. Okay, and the officer came down. We did the whole interview, whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. The kid never showed up. And then my boy Greg was like, yo, I'm going to take you to Jackson's just to show you enough, in case you got to handle some shit. Yeah. And so we just, my first day at the gym was October, it was in September. It was on a Sunday. And I just ate a big old, one of those chicken bakes from Costco. And he's like, well, do you still want to go? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you just ate this big old chicken bake. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. Well, he takes his son, Evan, who I've been cutting his hair since Evan was a little kid back then. And, Evan put it on me, man. I mean, it was like, and that was when the gym was on Cutler. And it was, dude. That gym was tiny back then, man. And we just kept going on Sundays. And I was just like, hey, man, like, I want more. And then Greg Jackson was there one morning, and he introduced me to him, and I was like, hey, I'd like to come in during the week. And Greg's like, hey, man, if you're boys with Greg Richardson, you're boys with me. Nice. So I was like, well, I just opened up my barbershop. I don't got a lot of money. Things are a little thin. Just starting off. No one knows me in that area. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, if you can give me whatever you can afford, and if not, if you just shake my hand and say, hey, thank you for the training, I'll let you. That's and I was like, wow, man. And then years later, we ended up moving to Acoma. The gym moved to Acoma, and then Ricky Constead, he started getting his haircut from me at the, and we didn't know each other back when he was at Acoma. Yeah. I'd never met Ricky. And then Ricky started getting his haircut at the shop, and then he's like, you know what? He's like, you want to cut Greg's hair? I was like, yeah, of course, man. Well, why not? I mean, because I'd been trying to get Greg into the shop forever, because I was just like, hey, man, let me just at least, clean you up, whatever. And right. Yeah, Greg started getting his haircuts with me, and yeah, man, here we are, like 18, 19 years later. We're still very close, me and Greg. Awesome. And yeah, that's how I got into it. And, So it was out of shape and almost getting into a fight on my shop.
Yeah.
That's what got me into it. And, weightlifting got boring, and then I discovered CrossFit.
Yeah.
And, that's another whole argument. Guys are like, CrossFit doesn't work. I'm like, really? Because I got a 6-pack. I was shredded at weigh-ins. Like, you guys still look fat as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
loved it. You know what I mean? And that's what kept me there. So.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. That's CrossFit has a lot of controversy around it, man.
It does. Crazy, huh? It does. You get these big old bodybuilder dudes. I got some buddies that like talk smack. They're, well, the form's bad. And I'm like, yeah, okay, the form's bad. But you know what? This is what I tell people. Like, because everyone's like, oh, I get hurt doing CrossFit. I'm like, hey, dumbass. If you know your max on deadlift is 275, but the recommended workout is 350, and you still attempt it and you blow out your back, well, then your stupid ass deserves to get hurt.
Yeah.
So what, during my fight camps, what I would do is I'd go light. I'd do, like, say, deadlifts. I'd put 165 on the bar because that's what I would weigh the night of the fight. So I'm assuming that my opponent's going to weigh that much.
Right.
So that's what I would use for my deadlifts for reps or whatever. And I would go lighter but take less breaks. If I went heavier, I'd take longer breaks.
Yeah.
But I want to go heavy during fight camps.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of guys at the gym couldn't understand. And I train myself, dude. Like, I didn't go to all these gyms that all these other dudes got to do. Like, I educated myself.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends, Mark Hoffman, was he was RKC first.
Okay.
And then Pavel broke off and created Strong First. And so that's when the double bell workouts came in. And so I kind of backed off of CrossFit, you know what I mean? But the kettlebells were still like a lot of that CrossFit kind of scene, you know what I mean? It's just that our technique is a lot more proper than, so I get where people say like, oh, dude, CrossFit's going to get you hurt. I'm like, yeah, well, if you work out like an idiot.
Yeah. Pavel changed the game with the kettlebells, man.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's been the Turkish getup.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
Yeah, man. I love kettlebells, man.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So what was it like earning one of only 14 black belts under Greg Jackson's Gaito Jiu-Jitsu system?
Yeah. It was an honor, man, because a lot of people are like, oh, dude, well, what is it? And I'm like, all right, so little history on it, because I tell people, if you didn't train there, of course, you're going to be like, oh, Greg Jackson has a belt. Well, you know what, man? And it's funny because back in the day, all of us would be like, belts don't matter in here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if Greg handed you that Gaito Jiu-Jitsu belt, it fucking mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
but
sure.
just to name drop, George St. Pierre, Rashad Evans, go back further, Keith Jardine, Diego Sanchez, Joey Villasenor. And there's a bunch of, there's a few other guys that I met throughout the years that are black belts under Greg, too. There's not a lot. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was like, cool, it's unique.
Yeah,
and I tell people, if
sure.
you didn't train there, then of course it wouldn't matter to you. But there's an old slogan that said it was developed in the streets, proven in the cage. Mm-hmm. And Greg is one of two white boys in the valley, South Valley, in the 90s, you know what I mean? And so, that dude had to be tough, man. And it was funny because I told him, I was like, yeah, me and my cousin used to go hang out at the Westside Community Center. He's like, so did I. I was like, bro, we probably walked right by each other a bunch. And I think that's why me and Greg are so connected, you know what I mean? Because, he grew up in the same area that one of my cousins did. And we hung out at all the spots that Greg did too, So no, it was a super honor, and I got my belt with two of my best friends, Damasio Page and Ray Martinez, and we all have our different style. Damasio bangs. I love the ground and pound and all that, and Ray was great submissions. So. It was way of the streets. Yeah, Gaito Jiu-Jitsu.
That's awesome.
And so that's a little history on it in a nutshell.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good story to hear, man. I appreciate it. So, do you remember your first MMA fight?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go over that. And during that time, what was going through your head?
All right. So my first MMA match was, I think it was it Duke City Brawl 2? Yeah, Duke City Brawl 2. The cage was set up on the track at the fairgrounds, and one of my buddies, he was a rapper, and he had this song, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna come out to that song. Well, the DJ messed up and played it for the guy before me.
Oh shit!
And so I was like freaking out when it started playing, and they're like, "You're not up." I'm like, "That's my song." you know, and I'm in the back, and I'm, you know, it's funny because Rashad Evans is back there, Mike Van Arsdale's back there, Mikey Lovato, and, you know, Mike Van Arsdale. If you guys don't know who Mike Van Arsdale is, he fought Randy Couture in one of the UFCs. I can't remember which one it was, but the dude was solid wrestler. I think he was an Olympian. He was an all-Army wrestler. You know, he served in the military too.
Yeah.
Army. Great guy. But he's like, you know, I just said he fought Randy Couture, so he's a heavyweight, but he's back there putting the jockey jackets on.
Oh, geez.
You know, just busting out of it. It was funny, man. And so, you know, it was real light in the locker room that night.
Yeah.
And I was just like, shit, dude. And I kept going to the bathroom, kept peeing, and, you know, just freaking out, and, you know, the adrenaline dump up and down.
Yeah.
And my opponent, one of my buddies walked by my opponent in his corner, and there, he's like, hey, what's your game plan? I said, well, I'm gonna take the dude down. He goes, all right, cool. He's like, because he's gonna try and knock you out. And so Chris Ochoa, who was Greg's first black belt and first fighter out of the gym, he was in my corner, and he's like, hey, look, your first fight, take him down, you know, just work to mount and ground and pound.
Yeah.
I said, all right, cool. So I finally I just put my hat down. I always did the same walkout. Put my hat down, and I just walked to the ring. And I had these ugly yellow and blue shower shoes that I wore for every fight. For every fight, I wore them. You know what I mean? I got 21 fights, and I wore them for 20 until my wife's bulldog chewed them up. And then I ended up losing that fight, actually. But I was like, she chewed up my good luck Chopos, man. You know what I mean? My flip-flops, yeah. But, yeah, I remember walking out, and we tapped gloves, and this dude, Ryan, and I'm bouncing back and forth. He kind of feints, I feint, and I just say screw it, and I shoot in. I do this ugly, sloppy rookie takedown against the cage, but I end up in mount. And actually, I was wearing these like they're probably about 6 ounce gloves.
Okay.
So I did him a favor by wearing those. But I beat the piss out of that kid, and I think I finished him in 1:54.
Nice.
And then he becomes a cop down in Los Angeles. He's a nice guy, man. Yeah, and it was funny because one of my buddies is a DWI lawyer down there.
Yeah. And
so I guess they're in the elevator at the courthouse. And my buddy John tells him, he goes, hey, we got a mutual friend. He's like, who's that? He's like, Conrad Padilla. He's all Ryan hugging his head and goes, I learned a lot about myself that night.
Shit,
you know
that's
what I mean?
funny.
So, yeah.
That's cool, man.
But, yeah, no, it was great. It was a great time.
I remember they brought a lot of fights here when it was coming up, man, because so yeah, Mikey Lovato was one of them who was doing the fights.
Right.
Mikey Barreras.
Barreras, yeah.
Who was my high school wrestling coach, by the way.
Okay.
Lenny the Godfather. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that was
we were all on that card,
time, man.
Yeah, we were all on that card. I think Mikey Barreras was not on that one, but man, like the names you just said, like a lot of us were on the same card because we sold tickets. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that place rocking.
Yeah,
it
dude.
was great.
I couldn't wait to go to those fights, man. That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
dude.
that was definitely an era.
Yeah, dude.
It was definitely an era, you know.
So what lessons from fighting have stuck with you the most in your everyday life?
Lessons from fighting is just one, be humble in wins, you know what I mean, and losses, and you know, like I never sat there and there's a couple fights I'm like, man, I wish I could get those ones back, but at the same time it's just like, hey man, I lost, this is why I lost, and that was a lesson learned, and I just drove on from there, you know what I mean, and it's just like, all right, this is the takeaway from this fight. This is what I did wrong, and this is what I did right, and the things that I did wrong, I made sure I didn't do again.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like almost like I tell a lot of people, like, I try not to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Especially in competition.
Yeah. Especially when you get knocked down in front of 3,000 people, and then your boys are like, "Bro, what happened? I paid $50. You got knocked out." I'm like, "Bitch." You know what I mean? And I swear, the one thing that used to piss me off about it was, you know, after every loss, everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna hang it up now?" I'm like, "Damn, dog! Like, I'm 7-2 as an amateur, 6-3 as a pro. Until I become 7-6, like, don't kick me while I'm down, man. Like, you know, my jaw hasn't even stopped hurting yet, and you're already telling me like, "Oh, you should hang it up," because you lost once. Like, this isn't boxing. Yeah. You know, it's like weird. Like to me, like boxing. You know, guys have one blemish on their record, and it's just like, oh, you're not as great as this guy because he's undefeated. Like, I don't get it, you know. But like some of the greats in MMA, like, You guys, I was just talking about this guy the other day, Jeremy Horn. Remember Jeremy Horn?
Yeah, I do.
How many unsanctioned fights did that guy have? He had over 200 sanctioned fights or something.
Yeah.
And he was 160 and 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of fights regardless. But, it's like, damn, MMA, you still got some of the greats, and they got like 5, 6, 10 losses, whatever, and they're still out there chopping it up with everybody.
Yeah, yeah. They don't see a lot of once you start going pro and all that, they don't see all the work you've put in to get to that point.
Right.
So, I mean, it's easy to talk on the sidelines, man.
Exactly.
Much, so
Yeah, couch potatoes,
I get you, man. All right, bro. So we'll jump into the stunt work and film industry.
Okay, yeah.
So how did you make the jump from fighting to becoming a stuntman? That's the first question.
So this one's another funny story, kind of.
All right.
My buddy Jermaine Washington, who's been a local stuntman actor for a while here in Albuquerque. I'd worked two jobs as background, and because Matt Leva put it in the Jackson's private page that we had at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey guys, they're looking for extras to just be inmates for this Mel Gibson movie called Bloodfather. And it's like I'm a little surprise Easter egg at the end of the movie because I got this big old spider web on my face. Everyone's like, hey, is that you? I'm like, nah, man, it's not me. But so I did 2 movies as background.
Okay.
And so my buddy Jermaine comes in, he's getting a haircut. He goes, hey, after your next fight, don't get fat. Because after my fights, man, I'd throw down,
Right, yeah,
like,
cutting and stuff.
Because you're cutting
and
you get these weird cravings. Like, I never wanted those orange Hostess cupcakes at the gas station until as soon as I signed that contract, it's like week 8 out from the fight. And then I see those Hostess cupcakes, and then every Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, it's different when you're cutting weight.
So after my fights, I get really big and I drink like crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just sodium up, and get puffy. But he's like, hey, there's a prison flick coming out, and I want you to put in for it. And I was like, okay. Well, it didn't come out right away. It didn't come to Albuquerque right away. And then I had another fight. I got real lean, got good looking, and he's like, again, keep it tight. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then so I did the fight, and then he sends me this audition. He goes, okay, you didn't get this from me. He's like, but submit yourself. He's like, submit a headshot and then like a little quick resume about yourself. I was like, okay, cool. And it was to Mid Thunder Casting up in Santa Fe, and I got an email back like within an hour. You have an audition on Monday, and I was like, wow. So she sent me, the so in the movie industry they got a whole nother language that you have to learn, right? So like, hey, we're gonna send you your sides, and I'm like, my sides, okay. what the hell's that?
Yeah.
And so anyway, but sides are lines. They're gonna send you your lines. So we send you the sides. It's the audition. It was like 3 or 4 sentences, and she goes, "This is open to all ethnicities, and you can make it however you want."
Okay.
I said, all right, cool. So I call my buddy Jermaine up. I was like, hey, I got an audition Monday. He's all, bet. I'm gonna come help you. So he comes over, and I'm like, I have no idea. So they tell you to do what's the name of it? Anyway, you just tell them Conrad Padilla, 5'6", 180 pounds.
Okay.
Slate. Yeah, that's what. So they tell you, all right, go ahead and slate. So my buddy's like, go ahead and slate. I'm like,
what is that?
what was that? You know what I mean? And he's like, okay. I was like, bro, remember, this is my first time doing this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I got no idea what I'm doing. He's like, all right. He's like, slate means height, weight, and then, Albuquerque based or wherever you're from.
Okay.
And so I go in, I do the audition. The girl's like, wow, that's pretty good. You don't have an agent? I'm like, no. She goes, okay, well, now you got to go to the stunt audition. And she hands me this piece of paper, and my buddy Tommy, rest in peace, we're doing the stunt audition at his CrossFit gym right there on Eagle Ranch by Costco.
Okay.
So I show up, and dude, there's just about 100 guys there, and I see my boy Matt Leva. We link up, and this stunt coordinator comes out, and I have no idea who this dude is, but he's a big dog. His name's Freddie Busegas. Everyone calls him Freddie B.
Okay.
He's the current Stunts Unlimited president right now, and this dude does fight choreography for some of the biggest movies that you've seen.
Nice.
Like Free Guy, Justice League.
Okay.
Like, the dude's just the it guy, right?
Yeah.
So he comes out. He's like, "Hey guys, all right, you're gonna put a little 5 8-beat fight scene together, or whatever, but make it as raw as possible, you know, because they didn't want the fancy choreographed stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, we went out there and Matt Leva literally beat the shit out of me. He's like, no, they want to see you like actually taking a hit. I'm like, damn, motherfucker, like I know you're not really hitting me hard, but you're hitting me hard. You know what I mean? And but anyway, I was taking direction on the fly, so Freddie B's like, do this, and I'm just adapting to it. And then he tells Matt, finish him, and he hits me, and boom, and I fall down, and whatever, and like, oh, that's great. So I was like, hey, man, great to meet you. Like I said, no clue who the dude was.
Yeah.
Hop in my car, go back to the barbershop, cutting hair, whatever. And then a week later, I get a phone call. Hey, man, this is Freddie B from Shot Caller.
Okay.
Do you want to be a stuntman? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. You know what I mean? So to be an extra in 2 shows and then jump into stunts was like almost unheard of. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, Freddie calls me up. He's like, hey, man, we're going to be doing what's called previs. And I was like, okay, cool. And no idea what previs is. He's like, we're going to be doing it at Mean One, and we're going to have a couple of the guys, and everyone who's going to be there is going to be featured in the movie. I'm like, wow, cool.
Okay.
And so I go in, and what previs is they put a whole fight. So what we did was we did a whole riot scene in the movie.
Okay.
And so what Freddie did was we choreographed the whole fight scene, and then we show that to the director, and he'll say, okay, I like this, change this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so we did all the scenes. And Freddie, I guess he was like super impressed with me. So when I show up to set, Freddie's like, hey, let me introduce you to somebody. And fucking, he brings John Bernthal up.
Oh, man, dude.
He's like, one of the actors wants to do a fight scene. And I was like, all right, bet. And he brings up John Bernthal, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's fucking badass.
I was like,
man.
dude, you're Shane from Walking Dead, man. And he's just like, what's up, bro? Dude, I know he plays a fucking gnarly asshole on almost all his movies, but he is the most genuinely nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And so we sit there, we chop it up. He goes, yeah, dude, I used to box back in D.C. and all this.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's cool, man. And I mean, he almost has the boxer nose, you know what I mean? And I was like, hey, man, I was like, my daughter's 13th birthday is this Saturday. I was like, would you mind if I get some photos with you later? He's like, oh, yeah, bro. Yeah. He's like, after we do the scene. I was like, cool. So me and him choreographed this little fight scene, and we show it to Freddie, and Freddie's like, oh, I fucking love it. Let's go with it. And John, like, I was throwing John the whole time, you know what I mean? But in the movie, they just totally shorten it. Yeah. And so a lot of people, everyone argues with me, like, you're not in that movie. I'm like, bro, if you don't know that's me on the ground, like, you're not gonna, because the shot's pretty fast, right? Yeah. But if they would have kept the whole scene, it was awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they got this gurgling sound after the riot, and that's me actually on the ground going.
Is this a shot caller?
Yeah, shot caller.
That's fucking badass, man.
And so after we did the scene, dude, I got blood everywhere. I got blood all over John. You know, because they fill my mouth up with blood because he's stabbing me in my neck. Yeah. He's all spit it all over me. I'm like, gross, man. Like, you sure? He's like, yeah, dude. So they're filling my mouth up with this like thick corn syrup. I was almost gagging. Yeah. And so he stabs me with the shank in my neck, and I spit it, and it's all over his face. And it was actually pretty gnarly. If they would have kept that whole scene, I think it would have been pretty cool for the movie. But you know, it is what it is.
That's fucking sick.
And then afterwards, I was like, hey, man, I was like, would you mind just doing a FaceTime chat with my daughter for her birthday? He's like, call her. And
right there on the spot?
He chopped it up with her for about 20 minutes, dude. I got photos of that sick, and everything. Dude. It was just like, wow, man, that's amazing. Yeah, so that was my very first stunt job. And my buddy Jermaine he comes up to me, puts his arm around me, and we're sitting there, and he's just like, hey, man, if you hurt this guy, they're going to hear about it from here to Atlanta, to New Orleans, back to L.A., back to here within a day, and you'll probably never work again. So good luck. He's like, because normally your first stunt job as a stuntman, you know, your first job as a stuntman is, you know, the coordinator doesn't really know. He's like, hey, why don't you go stand way the hell back there? And you're an overpaid extra at that time. Right. But I've been really blessed in it.
That's awesome, man.
So that was my very first job, and I'll cherish that forever.
For sure, so, man. Yeah. I'm sure you're grateful for that, man. I met him once for when he came for the Comic-Con.
I was there too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's my wife and I were just awed, man. It's like, oh shit, the fucking Punisher.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it was funny because JJ that works for me, he was just like, oh, you're so tight with John, why don't you text him and let him know you're going? I was like, okay. So I sent him the photos we took together, and I was like, hey, John, this is Conrad from Shot Caller. Not sure if you remember me, bro, but if I print these out, would you be able to sign these? And he writes back, texted me within a half hour. Fuck yeah, I remember you, bro.
Dude, that's
He's
so
all, walk up to
fucking
the
cool,
front.
man.
I got you. Dude, I spent 6 hours there waiting for him. And then the security was escorting him back to the public booth to, because he just left the VIP area.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, what's up, John? He's like, what's up, John Bernthal? And I took my hat off. I was like, it's Conrad, shot caller. He's like, bro, gives me a big fucking hug. He's like, come with me. Walks me up to the front, and the line was already down there. Walks me up, and we're just chopping it up for like 15 minutes. He goes, I'll get to everybody. And we sat there, and we just hung out, dude.
That's fucking cool,
sick,
man.
Dude. It was sick, dude. And he's like, how's everything going, man? And I was like, man, I'm getting some acting now. And I was like, how can I memorize my lines? Like, what would you, if you could just tell me something real quick? He's like, that muscle, you got to train that like you train your jiu-jitsu and your kickboxing and all that. You just got to get that skill. And it's just repetitive. He's like, just like anything else, you got to get your reps in.
Yeah.
So you'll be good, man. So that's the little bit of advice he gave me.
That's cool, man.
It was dope. Man.
Not everybody gets that fucking opportunity to do what you did, man. So
it was a blessing, for
that's
sure.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see, where do we leave off here? Okay, so what was your first onset experience like? Did it feel familiar after leaving the MMA scene?
Man, no, not really, because like right now, I'm relaxed. I know we're being filmed. It's, when I used to do a lot of interviews, I just got to be me, right? But when you're acting, they got the lines, and you don't have to actually. There's certain shows that they want it word for word, and if you miss a cut, you missed the or whatever. Put it back in there, But some of the shows you can just you can kind of just free flow.
Yeah,
I guess,
like
you know
improvise.
What I mean? Improvise, yeah. But you got to remember what you say.
Yeah.
And then they got someone who's called Scripty. So Scripty's watching and listening and writing everything down.
Okay.
So then they'd be like, "Oh no, Conrad, you said da. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll go back to that. I'm sorry."
Okay.
But so I gave you my first stunt experience. Now my first acting experience was actually, I'm not even gonna say that movie. We'll go to my second acting experience because that one was so bad. They I'm not gonna say what it is. I mean, you can figure it out on IMDb. I think it's on IMDb, but they basically voiced over my voice, and they made me a Hispanic Barry Manilow. And I was like, oh man, it's funny because two of my buddies that were in there with me, Jermaine and my buddy Vince, were like, hey, the movie came out. I'm like, dope. They're like, but I'm like, dude, what, man?
Oh, you didn't even know?
I didn't know because I didn't see it, And then they're like, they did a voiceover. I was like, oh my god, dude, what I mean?
That's funny, dude.
So bad. I was like, why they do your boy like that? I don't know. So yeah, it was but my first big show was Night Shift, and it was on NBC.
Okay.
I couldn't believe I nailed that audition, and great director. He was a Navy veteran, so he wanted to hire a bunch of veterans for that.
Nice.
And so I'm acting, and oh god, what's the gentleman's name? The actor. He's here locally, super nice, Brendan Fair. And I just totally, dude, I'm nervous, man. Like I was like, dude, this is NBC. Like this is above my pay grade. You know what I mean? Like I have no proper acting classes and stuff. And I mean, they made it look good in editing, thank God. But man, like I was super nervous, and I was bobbling my lines, and you could see Brendan's face. Like there's one take where I just like went off. The dude was all. And I was like, shit, dude. And I was like, they're going to pull me aside and be like, dude, you fucking fired. You know what I mean? But, yeah, we made it through. And then when it came out, I was just like, wow, man, I'm on NBC.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was, it was funny because the director's like, cut. He comes in. He's like, Conrad, say your lines. And then as soon as I said it, he goes, Brendan, say your lines. He goes, and then there's a third guy that said some stuff. He's like, now you say it. He's like, that's how I want this to go, guys.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, wow, take 10, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, is sometimes I feel like I get myself into something I wasn't really prepared for, but it's just like, just from the military, just be mentally tough and just step up and do it.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Cool,
So,
man.
yeah.
Those are pretty cool stories so far, dude.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by the Rock Family Therapy. Not every battle is fought in combat. Some are fought in silence, in your head, in your home, or behind the mask you wear every day. At the Rock Family Therapy, they stand with those who fight to rise again. Veterans, first responders, parents, or anyone carrying the weight of trauma, loss, or stress. This isn't just talk therapy. It's rebuilding from the inside out. It's mental conditioning for life. A place to reset, refocus, and rise stronger. Whether your uniform is military, professional, or just the armor you put on to make it through the day. If you're ready to face what's been holding you back, they're ready for you. Call or text 505-336-0238 or email r.villy@therockfamilytherapy.com or visit therockfamilytherapy.com because warriors come in many forms and every warrior needs a rock. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored and brought to you by Toehold. As you know, I've been a longtime customer and supporter of Toehold. I'll give you 3 reasons why I love this company. 1 is because they're huge supporters of veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. 2nd reason is because everything is American made with integrity as it should be. And 3rd reason is because they have the best customer service that you'll ever receive with timely responses. Now, their main focus is flip-flops that'll last you a lifetime, but they also sell caps, shirts, rash guards, wallets, you name it. One of my favorite ethically sourced exotic leathers here is Murder Hippo flip-flops. We got stingray, elephant, crocodile, and if you don't want an exotic leather, you got different options on vegetable tan leather with stamps and colors. And going to the wallets here, we got zebra, we got stingray, we got John Wayne style minimalist wallet, and then going to the key fobs. So guys, go show your support. You have so many options with different exotic leathers. Go show your support for AG and Toehold. Tell them I sent you. Thank you. Peace out. So other than the what you just mentioned as far as like shows and movies right now, have you worked on Better Call Saul, SWAT, SEAL Team, like a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
To you, which project stands out the most and why?
Ooh, man. Well, they've all had their little special moments. I guess I would say the Better Call Saul one, because that group of guys that I worked with, we all still talk. You know, we're still, you know what I mean? We're not super close, but we still all talk to each other and chop it up and check in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was a super fun episode to shoot because we sat there, we spent a lot of time with Bob Odenkirk and Vince Gilligan, who was the creator, and Vince Gilligan was just another sweetheart of a human, man, just super great. Me and Bob were actually I get shot in my right eye, and so they did my special, they put the makeup on over my eye, but I couldn't be in the heat, and it was blazing hot, man. It must have been 115 out there with no shade in Tagle. Yeah. And so they're like, hey, we're going to go put you on Bob's RV. I was like, what? So I'm sitting there chopping, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm trying to be cool, because I'm like, dude, I'm like Bob Odenkirk's sitting at the table right next to me, like right across, you know? Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I put my head back and I just kind of close my eyes, like, I just don't geek out, don't say anything stupid. And he's just sitting there, he's like, how's that eye patch feeling right now? I was like, well, my eye's fucking burning. And he's, because the lady used alcohol, and he starts laughing, and we just started making small talk, and it was cool, man. And the whole crew's just like, dude, Bob loves you guys. Like, that's awesome, you guys did such a great job on that episode that it was cool because man, Vince Gilligan's so meticulous on every shot. Okay. You know what I mean? So, like, let's just say he's filming us talking right now. Yeah. He would want the shot from behind that tire underneath the car. Okay. Then he'd move the camera and put it up here in the garage. And then he'd move it behind us on top of the ice bath. And then he'd move it. You know what I mean? Like, Vince, he didn't put the camera, like, right here shooting up angles. You know what I mean? And but we got so much cool footage. I mean, I'm sure you couldn't use it all, but there's like some things like, so I'm dead behind this tire, but you can see my legs, and so they put the camera down. Like, Conrad, just twitch your legs, like that was, you know what I mean? Okay, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, because I get shot in the head, so like my body's still moving like a chicken. You know what I mean? So that was probably one of the funner ones.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was super neat. You know,
sure, man. So what's one crazy or memorable behind-the-scenes story that you can share from your stunt career?
Wild? I don't think I have anything like super crazy. Honestly, like sorry to disappoint you on that, but
it's cool.
but just like I've had to like I said, it's hard not to geek out sometimes. But like man, there's one where I was walking around in base camp and I turned the corner and I almost smacked right into Wilmer Balderrama. And I was like, oh shit, man. Like, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I almost hit you. He's like, no, bro, it's good to meet you, man. Conrad. Hey, cool, yeah, da-da. And then the next day I walk in the makeup trailer and there he is. He's like, Conrad, what's up? I was like, bro,
Damn, that's so cool,
you remember my name? Holy shit.
Yeah.
But nothing super crazy yet. I'm hoping, things have slowed down. A lot of the productions have gone overseas, which is super disappointing for us out here in the States.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to bring everything back, and hopefully I'll have a pretty cool story for you next time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure, man.
And if it pops in my head, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to jump into jiu-jitsu and your training mindset.
For sure.
So what drew you to start jiu-jitsu at 1 in 2017 after years of MMA?
Man, so I think I lost my last fight in 2016. I got clipped. I got knocked out, and then I was like, I got to get one more I got to try to get a win before I call it quits. And I never got to, so they kind of still, it's a little unsettling for me, But this guy, he's like a little brother to me. He graduated from Highland in 2002, I believe. His name's Arnold Moreno, and super awesome guy. And he's like, hey man, he's like, I've been training at One Jiu-Jitsu, and I was like, cool. Like, I was kind of wanting to like get into jiu-jitsu, just because I was like, man, I dedicated so much of my life to MMA that I just can't stop. I don't want to, it's just like anything. It's a perishable skill. Once you let yourself get out of shape, it's hard to get back into shape, as most people know. Yeah. And so I didn't want to lose it. So 2017, he's like, look up Jiva Santana. So Jiva Santana actually had 10 first-round arm bars before Ronda Rousey did.
Damn.
Yeah. And, of course, in Brazil, where they're crazy.
Yeah.
And he probably had more, but they just probably in like unsanctioned fights. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
Because Brazil's a crazy place.
Yeah.
But, Jiva's awesome. Man, that guy's got a lot of respect in the community. And so I was like, all right, cool, man. Because, nothing against some other gyms here in town. I just didn't want to go to one particular gym that is basically overcame Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And so I was just like, nah, I don't want to go there because everyone trains there.
Yeah.
I like to be a little more unique, a little different.
Right.
And so I told Arnold, because he was my AT&T cell phone guy.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, fine, dude. I'll go try this jiu-jitsu stuff. Like, kind of lame because I can't punch anybody, but whatever. And my very first class, Anna, Tito's wife, was teaching. She was 7 months pregnant with her son.
Oh, wow.
And she's teaching spider guard.
Damn.
And so I love the spider guard, so I always go back to it. You know what I mean? And so, that was my very first class at One Jiu-Jitsu. It was spider guard. Okay. I walked in, no idea what the hell spider guard was.
Yeah.
And I was smashing everybody's feet. You know what I mean? Their points, because no one was using their heavy hips. And back then, man, like, I get lion's mount on you and against the cage, like, bro, it's game over. I'm ground and pounding, and I'm passing, and I'm going in and out. And so I was just taking a lot of my MMA style into jiu-jitsu, and that's what helped me adapt to it. Yeah. And that's what helped me like overcome like a lot of stuff. So when I went in there, I was a blue belt or a white blue belt. I was a white belt. And I was already mashing the blues and the purples, and out wrestling a lot of guys,
right?
Just because of everything, and everyone thought I was a wrestler, but I just trained with so many West Mesa wrestlers, Coach Lenny, Damasio, Matt, JJ, like when he was still in high school. That man, I wasn't locked in that wrestling room, but because Latrell would always tell me wrestle. But I got to train with like a lot of wrestlers, and so I got my little go-to sneaky moves that are still relevant and still work. Yeah. And so, but that's how I got into it. And man, I tell Arnold, bro, thanks for getting me into there, man, because I'd probably still be shopping around for a gym, you know what I mean, and just be like, man, it's not my scene. And I'm not one of those homies that I got a lot of friends that I trained with over the years that are like, oh, I don't like gi, it's too it's too slow or whatever. I'm like, bro, you don't like gi because you don't want to be the new guy. You know what I mean? You don't want to get tapped, and you know what I mean, because you got all this machismo and all this ego, and you don't want to get submitted by these little guys, you know, because you don't know what you're doing. And to me, it was a learning process. And, you know, like I've done that hashtag forever a student.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to know everything. And, you know, I tell people, even when you get the black belt, now there's new levels at black belt. Like, dude, you could take a 1-year black belt, throw him in there with a 10-year black belt. And that 10-year black belt's going to treat that dude like a white belt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, But 2017, won jiu-jitsu just because it wasn't the other ones.
Yeah, I got you. No, I thought about it the same way too when I was shopping around for gyms too.
Yeah.
It's like research. Like if you're not doing your research into your gym, man, it's just, I don't know. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Right,
'Cause
yeah.
you're just going in for the clout or whatever.
Right.
So,
Sure.
cool. So how has training now at Atos influenced your game and your approach?
Man, training at Otto, so Professor Denelson Bishalari. I can finally say his last name. Like, dude, that's his last name. I looked at it, I was like, Bishalala. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but man, the kid, I call him a kid, but he's like 36, I think.
Okay.
It's just crazy because when I met him, he was 33. And he knew it was crazy. Like, this kid's level, man, and his skills are just like nothing like I'd ever experienced here in Albuquerque.
Okay.
Straight up. Like, you know, Albuquerque, it's a wrestling state. You know, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Like, everybody wrestles here, you know what I mean? And so, like, the jiu-jitsu almost seemed like it was wrestling-based and then jiu-jitsu, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? And so, you know, but you have some high-level guys that were here, too, that were, you know, came in from Brazil as well, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, Denny wants you to, he encourages you to apply the technique that he's showing you and not to be, he's like, dude, it's practice. Like, just attempt it. You know what I mean? And he's cleaned up a lot of my bad habits, and he's made me a lot more technical.
Good.
And I love it, dude. And you know, like I said, again, it's a unique gym, and now it's gaining some notice now. That, you know, I think it was after the IBJJF, because I think we lost to GB overall by like 50 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we went out and showed out, and it was a good showing, and a lot of our white belts and blue belts, everybody podiumed first or second. And I think that grabbed a lot of people's attention here locally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, there is a new gym in here in town, and it's legit.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I love it. Danny and him and I have become real close over the last 3 years. You know, like, I found love training again.
Good.
I wasn't, you know, like, I loved one, man. Don't get me wrong. No shade on those guys. It's just, man, a 45-minute drive after work, after standing up all day, and then, dude, them fools love to go hard over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, there were days where I was like, nah, I need to go get some rounds in. You know what I mean? And we would,
Yeah.
But Danny, the way he articulates the move, and he shows you, like, hey, man, if your foot's this way, the move's not gonna work. You got to turn it this, dude. It's crazy attention to detail, and it's nothing like I'd ever experienced here.
That's good.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's good to have that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, how do you train differently now compared to your fighting years, physically and mentally?
You know what? Man, I've slowed down on the weightlifting for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely on the mats a lot more now. And,
Yeah.
Because when I was fighting, I'd go to sparring. I would get some technique, you know what I mean, just in the class with Wink and Greg, you know, for MMA class and all that. But I think a lot of it was just concentrating on just staying in shape and keeping my condition and my strength up. Because going back to my first kickboxing match, I gassed out in the third round with like 20 seconds left. And I asked Holly, I was like, do you ever gas out? She goes, I never gas out. I was like, shit. You know, because Holly Holm walked me to the cage, or the kickboxing ring.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, Holly, do you ever gas out? She goes, I never do. She goes, I make sure I don't, because you know, that girl's a machine.
Yeah.
And so when I gassed out, I was like, fuck. that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And so, like, but I'm on the mats a lot more now, and it feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And man, it just feels more technical, but it's like I'm on the mats more. It's like I do technique more than I weight lift now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I'm still hard headed. I'm 47 years old, but I'm still training like I'm 33.
Yeah.
You know, and I love, dude. I don't always love going against the younger kids, but I'm like, yeah, if they tell me, Conrad, let's go, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, my back's gonna feel it tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
but fuck it, let's go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But yeah, a lot of those young kids like to beat up on Toehold Conrad.
Yeah, man. It's like we were just talking about before rolling, man. Like the Masters division itself, dude. It's just like it's different from when because you're rolling with someone that feels the way you do.
Exactly.
Like, my body's hurt.
Oh yeah.
And then when you go against these young bloods or like open class and like Naga or something, man, you're just like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Nah,
yeah.
Well, you know, my buddy Ray was like telling me years ago, he's like, yeah, all these young kids are catching up to us. And I was like, bro, until they can add 30 years of their age, they ain't catching me, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm competing against my age, you know what I mean? And it's funny because Amber Freitas was in my corner at Worlds.
Okay.
And so was this new girl, Sarah. You know, she's a brown belt with us. And after my 2 matches, because me and my opponents were like giggling and laughing during the match. We were talking during the match. And my professor's like, yeah, he's like, you know, the refs, you know, at Masters 4 and higher, they're not as serious as they are with like, you know, the men's division or the younger Masters 1 and 2.
Right.
You know, and it's more serious. He's like, but they know at Masters 4, it's like, dude, these guys, they're just happy to be on the mat. You know what I mean? So me and my opponents are sitting there whispering back and forth to each other. We're laughing and shit. You know what I mean?
Cool.
But yeah, it's just a good time. But it's just like, man, my back's going to feel this tomorrow. Yeah, mine too, you know? So,
yeah, it's not getting any better either, man.
Right.
That's why we got to use this right here.
That's right. That's why the ice baths, man. For real.
That's funny, man. All right, cool. So we'll jump into the cauliflower community and legacy.
Yeah.
So what inspired the creation of your clothing brand, Cauliflower Community?
So this one's a pretty good story. I like to tell. So when a few years after I started doing jiu-jitsu, I can't remember when it was, like 2019, 18, I met this couple that owned a company called Midlife Rollers. I don't know if you heard them or not, heard about them, but it's basically people in their audience is people who are in their 40s and older, trying to get them on the mat to just train.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool thing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, just because you're 40 doesn't mean you can't roll, you know,
right.
Just because you're in your midlife, like, don't stop exercising.
Right.
That's why I still like to go hard, because, like, if I stop,
yeah,
dude, my body locks up, you know, you feel it.
Yeah.
And so I told the dude, I was like, man, that'd be cool to come out with my own brand. I just, you know, I got to find my thing. He's like, yeah, you just got to find your audience. He tells me, and find the niche. And I was like, all right, cool. So I actually go on to the makeup trailer and for Flamin' Hot, the movie Flamin' Hot, about the Flamin' Hot Cheeto guy.
Okay. Oh, and, yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun show to work on too. And so anyway, during that summer I was lifting a lot, so I got pretty big, and I was about 185.
Okay.
And so I walk off the trailer and I'm wearing my typical Albuquerque uniform, you know, black tank top, khakis, Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
And I walk off and I'm walking back to my truck because they just wanted to see what I look like so they could figure out what tattoos to cover, because it takes place in the 70s, and obviously in the 70s there's not these tattoos. So these tattoos, I love them, but at the same time they kind of hinder my work on set. You know what I mean? Because of the look.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I see these group of fucking homies walking towards me, and it's the cast.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sitting there, I'm looking, I'm like, bro, is that Emilio Rivera from Mayans?
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking him. So I just stopped, and I guess I tilted my head, and I just had this look on my face. I was like, really, I was again, fucking fanboy and starstruck. You know?
Right, of course.
And he looks at me, and he has this nervous look on his face, and he does the, what's up?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're that fucking homie from Mayans, no? And he was like, yeah, bro, thanks for watching. And we start chopping it up. I was like, hey, man, I'm a stunt man. I'm going to be doing the fight scene with homie tomorrow. And he's like, fuck yeah, bro. He goes, we'll chop it up on set tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, I've been trying to get on the hustle on the Mayans. He's like, well, you know the stunt coordinator? I was like, nah. He's like, it's Oakley Lehman. I'm like, I actually do know Oakley. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was Oakley and Chad Guerrero. And I was like, yeah, I'll reach out to those guys. He's like, all right, cool, bro. And he's like, I hope to see you on there too. You know, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll chop it up tomorrow. And so Anyway, and then I meet the guy who created Flamin' Hot Cheetos, his name Richard Montanez, and then he friends me on Instagram, and I posted up one of my fights, and so he tells me, he goes, yeah, he goes, that day you met Emilio, he told me, you see vatos with ears like that, you just turn and walk the other way because you're not winning that fight. I was like, no, he didn't. He goes, yeah, dog. He's like, he saw your ears and was like, fuck. He's like, this dude's just staring at me. He's like, bro, I'm not going to win this shit.
Yeah.
He was like telling those dudes, he's like, all y'all better jump in because this fool's, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a punk.
It's fucking awesome.
It was funny. And so I told him, oh, so you fear the ear.
Yeah.
Boom. That was going to be that was the original name.
Okay.
Fear the ear was the original name. So my boy Justin Lovato, he's my graphic designer, and I call him up. I say, hey man, I got an idea for a brand.
Yeah.
I want to meet up. And he's like, let's go to Marble. It's all right, cool. So we meet up at Marble, and he has his notepad. He goes, all right, what are you thinking? I said, fear the ear. He's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, I like where you're going with this. I was like, let's do a panda, because at that time, like my guard game really sucked.
Mm.
And so I told him, I was like, man, I'm more of a lazy panda.
Yeah.
Like I just grab you, pull you in. I'll just wait for like either a lazy submission, or if I could bridge and roll you and get the sweep and get the mount.
Yeah.
Then I dominate the top, as most MMA guys are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he's like, all right, cool. I was like, yeah, and of course we start drinking. I'm like, fear the ear, sincerely, what I wanted the tagline to be, cauliflower community.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, that's dope. He's like, yeah, I'm digging where this is going. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, let me go home and work on this. I was like, all right. A week later, he sends me the panda head, and then it says cauliflower community. He goes, then we'll add the fear of the ear later.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, bro, that's the name.
Yeah.
Cauliflower community. He's like, I was like, then we'll just do cauliflower community, fear the ear.
Yeah.
And so we were working on the trademark. We actually let the fear the ear one go.
Mm.
But the trademark got approved for cauliflower community now, so it's solid. And so that's how it evolved.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it evolved from fear the ear, sincerely cauliflower community, to cauliflower community, fear the ear, to just cauliflower community.
Okay.
And I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. Like, a lot of people are like, man, that's welcoming, and it says community, it's inviting, it's not aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to rewrite the bio on the web page, but got the web page set up. It's rocking. We got some new gis coming in soon.
Nice.
Some 380 with some diamond stitch pants. Like,
nice,
dude,
man.
pimping, bro. Solid.
Moving on up in life.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
awesome,
sir.
man.
Yeah.
I always love to hear the origin stories of businesses, man. So that's cool.
Yeah, that evolved on a movie set.
That's cool,
It
man.
evolved on a movie set.
Awesome. So what does the brand represent to you and the wider martial arts community?
Well, what it represents to me was, obviously, with the cauliflower ear, everyone's like proud of it,
Yeah.
And, and then it's funny because you start hearing those, some of the stories of those dudes who are sour because they never got it or they don't have it. And I'm like, bro, I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on you, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to create, for me, it's a brand that's inclusive to all the sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, tap out, as great as it was, you're not going to see a judo guy wearing it or a wrestler wearing it. Or, well, you probably would, it's because they're fans, but at the same time, it related to MMA. As soon as MMA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Judo, whatever. You know what I mean? Cauliflower community, man. It's just, it includes all the groups.
Yeah.
All the combat sports.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think it's starting to resonate with people too. And a lot of people love it.
Yeah. That's good, man.
So.
Awesome. And let's see, where did we... Okay, last question, bro.
All right.
I know, I told you to move fast, man. So looking back at everything, being a soldier, barber, fighter, stuntman, entrepreneur, etc., what do you hope your legacy says about you?
Man, I hope the legacy when it comes back, man, I hope people remember that, like, I'm still human. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, oh, dude, you're such a, you're a great guy, you're humble and all this, and it's humbling for me to hear people like boost me up like that, and like it almost makes me like bashful because it's just like, damn dog, like
Yeah.
I'm just being me, I'm just being friendly. I love having friends. You know, I hope people remember that, and I hope that people don't take things to heart when they have a bad experience with me. Like can't be happy all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I hope people like look back and be like, dude, Conrad was a solid guy. He did what he could to help people out, and you know, he handled good business, and he was honest and good to people. That's what I hope their takeaway is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's humbling, man. Shows the humility in you.
Dude,
So.
for real, like when people tell me, like, you know, even when you ask for my bio, I was just like, man, like it's weird for me to talk about myself, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's, you know, like I love it because sometimes, like, I tell people, like, bro, some people take me messing with them or teasing, they take it to heart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if I walk in a room and I don't say nothing to you, or I barely say hi to you, bro, you should ask yourself, what did I do to piss off Conrad? Because if I'm not talking to you,
Yeah.
dog, like you ruffled my feathers in the wrong way, you know what I mean? But
For sure.
if I walk in and I tease you like, hey dog, you ready to get fucked up today? Like, you know, it's because I like you, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing it to put you down. I'm doing it because I'm teasing you, just because it's like, you know, of course I come from that 90s era. We were always fucking with each other, and always talking shit. And I think people nowadays have lost that, and they take things to heart. And so it's just like when I say things, I'm like, bro, like, I was fucking around, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mean that seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, you should have finished that triangle at Worlds. Dude. You suck. You know what I mean? Like, it was deep. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. You know? So, you know, like you had a missed opportunity. I'm gonna fuck with you about it. You know what I mean? But that's just, you know, that was an incident that happened to a friend at Worlds this year, and I was like, bro, and I was teasing him because I told him, I was like, well, at our gym we teach people how to finish our triangle, but you know, whatever.
That's funny. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's the humor, man. That's the fun part.
Oh yeah,
makes life fun
for sure, man. What's you know, and then the other thing too, like I always loved about martial arts, or you know, just even jiu-jitsu and MMA, was that it was a cohesive unit. You know, we all want to see each other succeed, just like in the military. You know? Like you know, you want your unit to succeed in its mission, and you know, and you want everyone to come home safe. And there's, you know what I mean? That was it. And you know, like, you know, you want your whole school to go to Worlds and everyone come back with a medal.
Right.
Who cares which one it is? Just, you know, because what? How many guys did you compete?
I did. It was my first Worlds.
Really?
So,
it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a different experience, man.
How many people did you have in your division total?
Like 56.
Yeah, so I had. So being Masters 4, we still had 36 guys in the division.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
for
so it's pretty
Masters 4,
deep.
man.
You know, being pushing 50, because one of my friends is like, the older you get, the less competitors, and I'm like,
right.
Well, there's 36.
Yeah.
So when I hit Masters 5, is there only going to be 34?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, dude. I'm like fucking. That's why I asked you before we started rolling too if you were gonna do Nogi Worlds, because this would be my second time doing Worlds.
Nice.
Ever, but my first purple belt tournament.
Oh, so, there you go. Yeah.
So I just did blue belt. I just got promoted.
Nice. Congratulations, bro.
Right after, thank you. Right after Worlds, I got promoted. So I wasn't planning on competing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I was gonna get my purple.
Sick.
So I was like, I might have to finish the year off strong, man.
Which division? Masters what?
Masters 2.
Okay, yeah, you're still pretty young.
Yeah,
man. You're still
man,
gonna have a lot of guys, bro. You know what I mean? Still gonna have a lot of guys.
That's what I'm saying. But no, surprisingly, the Nogi category right now, there's only 2 people in my division right now.
Yeah,
so,
same. I got 3.
Yeah, so it's not as popular, but even more of a reason to go out there and go out with a bang, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about it. For sure I'm going to register, but I'm thinking about like long term. Like, am I still going to compete? Because since I started, I've only been doing jiu-jitsu for maybe almost 3 years now.
Okay.
And I've just been competing back to back, bro.
Right,
the entire time, as you can see.
Yeah. No, I saw those and I was like, damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, dude. So I was like deciding to just take a pause, man, and just give my body a break.
Sure.
But then, like I said, I got my purple, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking go out with a bang.
Yeah.
But no, dude. I'm sure we're gonna cross paths a lot. Especially that we're now well acquainted and got to know each other a little more. But Yeah, so that was my last question, bro. I told you I was gonna get off topic.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, man, just chop it up, right?
Yeah. But that being my last question, is there anything you want to talk about, or anything we didn't mention, or something important that you want to talk about that wasn't maybe asked to you?
No, man.
Session?
I think, man, all those questions are pretty solid, dude. So
Okay.
I'm glad I was able to not just lock up, and then I tend to wander sometimes because
Yeah.
my wife gets so pissed off. She's like, just say what you want to say, because, or say what you the point, because
Yeah.
I'll tell sub stories in my story, and then I forget what the hell was I talking about in the first place. Like just when I was telling you the Flamin' Hot story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, no, he wanted to know how the brand got created. That's a core part of how the cauliflower community came about.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I got mid story, and I was sitting there thinking, don't forget that
Yeah.
this is what he's asking. So
I'm like that, man.
yeah, no, man, that's cool. Like, so my suggestion to you would be, because I'm thinking about doing Nogi Worlds just to get the experience for it.
Mm.
And then take your break. You know what I mean? Because honestly, for me, what I was prepping mentally for was I think it's March is when Pans in
Yeah.
Florida, and and then the other thing too is that I love. So my professor's an OG Autos guy, like from back in 2014 when they were still in Brazil, I think.
Okay.
And so he got his black belt from Ramon Lemos and Andre Galval.
Okay.
And so there's also some world champs that he trained with back in the day, the Campos brothers.
Okay.
Guillermo and Guto. And Guto's gym is in Kissimmee, and I think that's where the Pans is.
Yeah.
Is in Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, dude, let's go to Pans and let's go do a drop in with Guto, man. And
Yeah.
Guto's a nice guy. And what I love also about Autos is that again it's a unique gym. It's smaller, so there's not so many. But his brother Guy has a spot in Beehive, Texas, and so when I go out there for Thanksgiving, I go and I train with Guy, and he's super nice, man. Like,
That's cool.
He's just like, oh, bro, yeah, and he's a world champ too. I think it was 2020 he won worlds. I think Guto's a 2-time world champ, black belt. You know what I mean? And high level and awesome guard, man. So like one of my buddies like, dude, he's like, you're old Guto. I was like, no. He's like, you'll just get ready just to constantly tap. And I was like, wow, man. But I mean, just so like now like I used to make fun of a friend of mine because he used to plan his vacations around. He'd go to Henzo Gracie's gym in New York or wherever it was, and then he'd go to AOJ, and then I'm like, dude, you really plan your vacations out now? So when I get to work on set in LA,
Yeah.
I stay at my boy Jesus's house, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm gonna hop in the car, I'm gonna drive down to San Diego, I'm gonna stay an extra day, and I'll go train at headquarters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll just do like a day drop in, and it's just like, wow, I'm here at headquarters. And then Andre walks in, it's like, wow, there's Andre. Dude, we went out there, and there must have been about 10 world champions on the mat at one time.
That's amazing,
Dude,
man.
it was insane, dude. It was insane.
Did you get worked by all of them?
No, there was no gi. I was just watching. Because like I said, man, like it's fun. Like I've been doing no gi because my wife likes to go to the no gi classes. And she just got her blue belt, so I'm super proud of her. You know what I mean? And
Awesome.
She's like, come on, let's go do no gi. I'm like, shit. All right, fine, let's go. But yeah, it's fun. It's still rolling there. And like I said, the youngsters, I call them my little jiu-jitsu hitos. We got 6 out of the 7 blue belts still there.
Okay.
And killers, all of them. And they're like, come on, Theo, Conrad, I want to get around with you. I'm like, man, I got a mat burn on the crown of my foot now, bro. I need to sit out. But no, it's fun. I love it. So, but yeah, like I'd say, hey, man, just take a break after Worlds. Just screw it, go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's only 2 guys in the division, man, go out there, wreck them, and get your gold and come home.
That's the plan, man.
And then you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then they're also coming to Albuquerque in February. I just
Are they
found
really?
out. Yeah.
Oh, great.
So
are they gonna let kids in though?
I think they're doing kids this
I
time too.
hope so, man. Because that last show was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see the kids get added to that. That way, there's a big attendance. That way, IBJJF wants to keep coming.
Right. Exactly.
Because they, if it's a dud, they might not be like,
yeah, exactly.
Albuquerque's nice, but.
We'll skip that part of town this time. Yeah.
We'll set up in Phoenix or Denver, and we'll let them drive 6 to 8 hours.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, no, I hope it'll be a good turnout now that the kids are added to that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Cool,
yeah, because we got some kids that are, I think that, they're getting that fire now.
Yeah,
So
good.
it's cool to see the kids competing.
Good, man. Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
So, shout outs and plugs. Anything you want to shout out?
Outs
Anybody?
and plugs, man. Shout outs to, oh man, I feel like I'm back in the cave now. I want to give a shout out to Conrad's Barbershop, my wife Patsy, for cooking for me. No, check out cauliflowercommunity.com, guys. We just got it going. It's cool to see the, I get sent the, whenever people visit the website, they'll show, and man, like, I think the last 3 months there was like almost 200 people checked out the website. And
nice.
Whenever I get an order from somebody I don't know in a town, that it's like, hey, I just sent two geese the last 3 months. I sent 2 geese out to Vegas. And
that's
that
badass.
was pretty neat. Yeah. So, and then big shout out to the Auto School here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's super unique. You guys come by, check it out. My professor, he's, like I said, it's he's one of the most unique black belts here in town, I think. Like I said, I've rolled a lot of them just because, from, coming from Jackson's, and a lot of people always just swing through, and you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not bagging on anyone here. It's just that, this dude's just, his style and his way of teaching has just been like, I'm absorbing.
It works for you.
Yeah, I'm absorbing it. It's working. So if it's working for me, and I got a lot of bad habits, bro, and, that dude's fixed a lot of things for me.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
good.
I mean. So, but Cauliflower Community, Atos ABQ.
Okay.
Come out and check us out, man.
Cool, man. And last but not least, you can tell the audience where they can follow you on social media.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that, too. So, Cauliflower Community on Instagram, Facebook, and I just created a TikTok.
Okay. Yeah.
It took me the longest to create a TikTok, and I'm still figuring it out. So there's not a lot of content on there yet, but I'm working on getting better. I'm gonna bust out my GoPro 360 and start making myself do videos.
Cool.
And in fact, I gotta do a video for Kenny from Matt Made.
Okay.
I don't know if you follow Matt Made or not. It's another cool Instagram or TikTok. It just talks about how people, get into jiu-jitsu and why they train, and they'd be like, hey, this is my story, and I'm Conrad Padilla, and I'm Matt Made. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I met him at Worlds, and I told him, I was like, hey man, can I just tell you my story in a nutshell? He's like, yeah. And I told him, he's like, do a video and send that to me, please.
Oh shit.
He's like, that is really unique. That is cool, bro.
Nice, man.
And then I hand him a cauliflower sticker. He goes, well, I don't got cauliflower here. I'm like, bro, you're still in the scene, and it's not too late. You're still training. I mean, you're a 3rd degree black belt, but there's still hope for you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's it, man.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. Well, it was lovely, man. It was a pleasure having you on the mats today.
Thank you so much, bro.
And I'm sure the audience is going to enjoy this episode as well with your background and stuff. So I can't wait to put it out. But
Cool.
I hope you guys enjoyed our latest episode of Small Talk on the Mats. But until next time, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Later.